everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Breaking the Block. Sorry that my background is a little bit different. I am at Dad's, Papa's, whatever you want to call this house, taking care of some things. So I am going to let Mama Maggie introduce herself, and we will get started.
Hello, lovelies. Mama Maggie Ward here, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer. I write books. And yeah, I am here today with the coffee and the throat spray and the Altoids winter mitts because yay, spring.
I understand that all too well.
And please check out my latest video on my hack for how to get print proofs for a very affordable cost from Amazon without having to create multiple project books in the background of your Amazon.
Yeah.
The Whip Draft 4 for a Never Live copy.
Go ahead and drop the link in the chat if you want to while we say hi to everybody. Hey, Sky, good morning. And Rach, good morning. We got the eldest here. Nice. Catching up on doing things. We got a Dawn. Hello, good morning. And we've got a Mel and a Cat Paw. Awesome. Good morning to both of y'all as well. So, we've got a couple of things going on today, but if you have a question or a concern that you would like to ask us and see if we can get you some grand ideas or something like that, then drop it in the chat. Kind of put a cue at the beginning so it's easier for me to catch. Not that, I should be able to catch it, but we'll see. And here is the link to Mama Maggie's affordable proof tutorial. So make sure to check that out. Yeah.
It really is a saver on your backside because when I first started making proofs for my books, I did the first of the Relic of Time War series. When I was throwing them on Bella, I needed printed proofs. And so I ended up with all of them and the Huntsman quartet. At one point I think I had like 7 or 8 unpublished books in the back end of my Amazon. So yeah, so creating the Whip 4 and just being able to do that was a game changer for me.
Yeah. From what I've found, Amazon is the cheapest company to get proofs from, period.
Yeah.
Ingram Spark costs you a bit. Lulu costs you more than Ingram Spark. So Ingram Spark's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, Ingram Spark people, I was hearing that between it was upwards of $10, $12, $15 for a proof from Ingram Spark. Barnes and Nobles is about the same, and Lulu was the highest with like $20 a proof. Yeah. So getting $5 for a proof, $5 and some change for a proof, and then $6 or $7 shipping and handling, depending on where it's going. And if you have Prime, you don't have to pay for shipping and handling.
Yeah. So it's
being able to have the editing copy. Hold on, let me grab it.
Rach says that drafted digital author copies are cheap too.
Yeah, see, I did Wolf and Werecow, and now I have a copy that I can scribble in.
Yep.
And yeah, take this in the car with me. And so, once you order this, don't mess with your digital draft anymore. Take yourself.
So yeah, especially if you have a monster book that's like 200,000 words.
I'll fold the corners of the pages. I would never dog ear a normal book, but my editing copies, they look like I'm pathological or something. It's like the top corners are folded, the bottom corners are folded. Sometimes the entire edge of the page is folded.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So, So with the
So
proofs,
Draft to Digital has cheap author copies, but their
yeah,
proofs are more expensive than their author.
through them about a proof copy or anything. Oddly enough, I only uploaded my ebook format to them anyway.
Yeah.
I do everything else from Ingram Spark, but that's just me.
Hello, Rita.
Yeah. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. All right. So to kind of sort of go with this, here's this question right here. This was off of Reddit. So when you have nothing to show for your creativeness, how do you keep from feeling like a failure? So for those of you out there that are writing but you're not published yet, or for those artists out there that you have art pieces but you haven't had a showing yet or a gallery yet, how do you feel? How do you keep going?
Yeah, we all know that this does not apply to me because just getting this, I'm like, I'm so happy just to have a printed book. I don't care if it's published or not. And I am the person that as soon as somebody said, you shouldn't be trying to be an author, you have brain damage and it's obvious, that I went, submit book. I was like, tell me I can't do something?
Maggie
Hold
is
my
the
mug.
overcomer.
Hold
Yeah.
my mug. I know this is a lot of struggle for a lot of authors because the imp is media post, one intolerant thing that happens, and your book that was supposed to launch today ends up getting retracted and sucked into the ether because the pet culture people came for you. So yeah, it's not having a published book is, to make that first publish is very hard. But I think a lot of authors struggle with hitting publish on that second book. Because I've seen you and I've seen Devin both struggling with hitting the publish button on the second book.
Yeah.
And with Rachel and Dawn, what is it? It's the fourth book. It's the fourth book that's been the third book was more of a struggle than the first and second book, and now it's the fourth book is they're going around and round and round in.
Yeah, because it's the murky middle. Yeah.
The Guardian and the Oracle and Children of Etheria together to make one book. And I'm still not happy with the fact that in the middle of that book there's like 120-year time gap jump. But there was nothing going on there that wouldn't just seem monotonous and boring.
Yeah.
So I just went ahead and went for the giant time leap in the middle of that book. And Swords is basically just prepping for the war. They're just prepping for the war and discovering how much Damien is prepping for the war. So yeah, but I think this comes down to believe in yourself, believe in your words, believe in your book. It's hard because the imp is talking to us. The world is loud and it's just full of everybody telling us you can't, you don't.
Yep.
Sky says, part one, as someone who is often making little progress on a lot of works, I feel this because I'm always struggling to feel like I'm making forward movement, so I don't really have an answer. Part two, I think this is part of the reason why I celebrate every little win. Oh, I finished a chapter day. Awesome. I get a cookie, or oh, I finished the first draft, cookie, etc.
Yeah.
Rachel says, not only that, but book 4 has been a lagger because finding the balance on bad things happening versus forward motion. This is the Dark Night of the Soul book.
Yeah. So back up, Rita's got, I'm not a failure, just not published yet. I keep moving forward. See, this was before I published I'm No Hero. I would waffle between I'm not a failure, I'm just not published yet, I'm a writer, and the whole I am a failure because I'm not published yet. So it's the imp, like Maggie says. You just got to keep believing in yourself and pushing and going as best as you can. Um, Mel says, as an artist, I have some of my old work around to see how much I've improved. Yes. Getting to selling, I had a few friends beat me over the head to get to it. I wonder who that is. And Rita says, sure, I have the mini meltdown and cry, but then I jump on a writing sprint and then take that break. Yes, yes. And I still need to get
this is people don't realize how much having your covers in a series running through and how much stress that is.
And that, so the checklist to get everything ready for publication in and of itself can make you feel overwhelmed. And that's another thing that can feed that amp to keep you from publishing and to keep you feeling like a failure. So don't let that huge checklist of edits and cover artists and all that stuff bog you down either. Just take it one at a time and do what you can when you can.
Rachel says, the main thing I would tell people from personal experience is don't let the imp keep you from pushing the publish button. As an indie, you can always go back and redo the book. That is true.
Yeah.
On Amazon or Ingram Spark or Draft to Digital, it's literally 72 hours to 7 days, and you can the mistake goes away.
Yeah. Says this week has been awful, and I'm failing to even feel like a writer, let alone an author. Just feel numb. Madam, I've read your short story. You are a writer, you are an author, and you are a wonderful one. So yeah, kick that imp out. It'll be okay. And Rach says also it helped us publish on Vella and getting feedback first from people. So it helped convince us that people liked it. Yes.
Putting things on later press for the same reason. That's why I put things on Inkit and Wattpad. Get the feedback.
Series covers scare me.
Yeah. Mal, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My Relative Time War series has so many. Most of them are like landscapey covers, but I have one cover that has a face on it. It has the face of the Prince of Shadows on it. No. And, I know people are like, the covers are all... No, I don't give a crap about that. This is me. And I don't care.
Yeah. And you've got so many things to pick from for your covers, Mel. Just, you've got this.
The cover relates to what's in the book.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait for her comic to come out, y'all. Seriously.
Hi, Margaret. How are you? Huggies.
And got the hearts going on. Let's see. It's just that we had the cover artists for all of the same ones so far, and so I'm being picky and want the same style. You choose, Apparently, aren't all self-published authors?
I have a 15-step editing process. Please. I think meticulous and masochist are synonyms when it comes to self-pub authors.
Yeah. There is that. All right.
Margaret says, maybe just thinking of it as seasonal, with my attention being needed elsewhere, and if it's procrastination, my guilt will tell me. Yes, but are you being productive elsewhere while you're procrastinating? Because procrastination, productivity is a valid thing.
Yeah. Like doing all your social media posts instead of writing, because you're supposed to be writing, but you want to do the social media post instead. You're still working on the business, but
I never want to do the social media post.
I don't until I have to write.
If I ever become an author, that's like the first person I'm hiring. You're going to do my social media post. Take my money.
Good company. Mel says, working on the promo thumbnails. No, actually, while listening. Nice. We're getting there. Nope. Sky's got a question. All right. For those who use different platforms to publish chapters for feedback, what platforms do you use? I've heard of Ream, Substack, and Letterpress. What else do people use? Anyone use Ko-fi or Patreon?
I use Substack for my whip chat stuff and my blogs. I don't use it for testing chapters. I use Wattpad and Inkit. And that said, because Wattpad does not have good security, on my Wattpad things, there are specific things in the chapters that go on Wattpad that are not in other drafts. Like a character will have a different name in the Wattpad draft than in any other drafts, or their name will be spelled differently, just simply because of Wattpad security not being the good. And I have to be able to track where that copy came from, because multiple times I've had to send cease and desist letters out at people who have gotten copies from Wattpad and started publishing them on their site. Or I've had to send a thing to not have my chapters mirrored on mirror sites. Truyen is really, really bad. Vietnam's Truyen sites are really, really bad about being virusy and buggy. And like on a lot of my Wattpad chapters, there'll be a thing at the bottom that says, if you see this book on another platform that is not Wattpad or Inkit, please contact me. So, but yeah, it depends. Those are platforms. I will tell you this though. Those are platforms though, where you need to get like a couple hundred people following you, so that when you're publishing a new story, you can get feedback. Right now I'm running one of the beta of Wolf and Werecow on both Wattpad and Inkit. The chapters are publishing at different times, like at a different rate. And I'm getting the reads. I'm getting 50 to 80 reads per chapter, but I'm not really getting feedback. The nice thing about Inkit is they have the reactions so that they can react, good writing, spicy writing, good conversation, good dialogue, good concept, like the characters, things like that, so that you can at least get reactions if you're not getting comments back.
That's good to know. Not a lot of platforms have that.
Yeah, Rachel says, I don't use Medium. Hold on. I don't use Medium or Substack for testing. That being said, I will also share chapters on my newsletter, but I feel that's different. She uses Letterpress because the developers are very meticulous about security and testing before releasing new events.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. Building the community brick by brick. I agree. Margaret doesn't use Patreon for chapters. It's too much commitment. I get that. Thank you. It was both the flower and the wolf aspect of it, so I had to choose that. Rach says Ko-fi was not as secure in my opinion, and also to release for subs I had to use PDF Word, which is easy to copy and steal, but maybe I'm just paranoid. Otherwise I like Ko-fi. So mine, are we going to, yeah, there we go. Hold on, let me get back to the question here. There we go. Sorry, y'all. I am on my laptop, and I am not used to being on my laptop during these streams. So I've posted chapters up on Ko-fi. My husband wants to keep me pristine, the very first draft, and I have, is it Daughter of Blood Gold that I have up on there?
Yes.
Yeah, and those are very rough drafts. They're nothing special. I popped them up there because I hadn't made any changes to them whatsoever. So whenever they are published, they are going to be, I wouldn't say completely different books, but close to it. That way, if they are stolen, I can still argue with it that it's mine and do a cease and desist. But also, the people who do get that stolen version, whenever they do get mine, it won't be the same story, needless to say. Substack, honestly, as long as you can get a following on any of the secure platforms, go for it. Test it out. See what you're most comfortable with doing. Like if you like the Ko-fi upload system, go for it. If you like how Substack has everything and it's also a newsletter, go with it. Go with Letterpress like Rach does. So, yeah. I would just test everything out.
The important thing is to get the readers, because like a lot of people have been talking about lately, like the problems I had early on with the beta swaps, not getting any feedback, and and life gets busy, and like I apologize, Rachel, that it took me over a month and a half to get you your feedback. I'm so sorry.
We were both like on that then.
What was with April?
I don't know.
April.
Yeah. I didn't get anything done in April at all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Sky, happy almost 10 years and almost 500 subs. So if you are not subscribed to Sky right here, go over to her channel and subscribe so she can reach that 500 sub mark on her 10-year anniversary on YouTube. Yeah, you take June and December off from writing, but I'll be publishing the Pagosa Winds duo right after the AWC. Nice.
Yeah, Winds over Pagosa and the Windflowers, because they happen at the same time. I actually decided to bite the bullet and publish them at the same time.
Nice. Hopefully it won't be during a marathon again.
No, it's after the AWC when I'm doing all the modding. So yeah, it's because I'm special. Because OCD says me.
This year has been so weird. I swear, it all started with marathon.
Yeah, like I had this huge argument with my daughter that it cannot possibly be Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's like, yeah, it's this weekend. And I'm like, no.
So I was driving here Friday and I'm like, why is there so much traffic? Oh, wait. Duh. Oh my gosh. Rita says that she has one of her books on Wattpad, but it's so different now and I haven't even looked at it for months. I don't have many readers either. I felt that way on Ream. Q1 and Q2 has been crazy for me too. Yes, April. Yeah. Margaret says, my April was okay, but not anything to do with writing, but much to do with pastries. Yes. Let's see. I need to unsub and resub then Sky. I think you were one of the first I found on here in 2021.
Gosh, I've been following Sky. I found Sky through Caro Brown back before the Pandy.
Yeah. I think that's the same way I found Sky. April was a bad month, but not as bad for me as January and February, just a different kind of bad. Yeah. March was rough for me and it bled all into April. Well, the second half of March. From the 17th, from St. Patrick's Day on, was like, yeah, no. Uh-oh. Cat Paw hasn't found anywhere to move yet. Oh no. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sky, Carol, and Tamara. Nice. All right. All right. Do we want to talk about the thing?
Okay. So I'm going to share the video, but we're not going to have the sound on because we don't want to get a copyright strike. So there's a thing. Did it share?
Yeah. There we go.
If you want to see this, you can go to the Book Riot page. But evidently, the Chicago Sun-Times released a best summer reads list for 2025, written by AI, and half the book titles are not real books.
Yeah.
They published this in the paper and on their website.
Mm-hmm.
And they, yeah.
It was amazing.
And we were talking before stream about how, like, if I have Edge, I have both Edge and Chrome on my laptop. And when I click the Edge, it's usually to go in and access my weather app. But they have all these news articles, and I go to read these news articles, and many of them will say at the bottom where it says, it'll say, it'll say editor and have an author name. And then it'll say compiled by AI. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's, absolutely, Margaret. That was a slap in the face for publicists who work so hard to get exposure for these kind of things.
Yep.
Yeah. Made me laugh out loud, not in a good way. Yeah,
Yep.
That was a disaster.
Yeah. See, AI generated an Instagram. Yeah. It's taken over everything. And people, I mean, I know lives are busy and lives get flipped over and, you don't know where you're going, kind of thing. But if you are in charge of an article that a lot of people are going to read,
maybe double
check it.
Maybe double check that they're all the author names are correct. All of these are real best-selling authors. Maybe check the book titles too. Maybe check their blacklist.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. Good morning, Eva. Okay, and raise your hand in the chat. Raise your hand. How many of you are now getting these? We all used to get these really annoying ads about creating books and audiobooks to make thousands of dollars on Amazon. Yeah. How many of you are now getting all the spam about how to create AI generated books for a non-effort income stream?
Yeah.
These ads are popping up all over Facebook and all over YouTube. I have finally got YouTube. Well, that's not true. I got one yesterday to mostly stop sending me them because I block them and I report them. And I'll say, selling AI generated content on Amazon violates TOS and will get you banned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is on the same level as a lawyer who used it and didn't catch the fake case cited. I mean, I'm so paranoid that I triple check everything, especially if it's going out to the public that I have, readers for. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Is journalism real and done by humans these days? Apparently not.
It's done by the AI overlords.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. Yeah, like I have Canva help me do my social media posts and stuff, but I always go back and look at it to make sure that, you know, somebody doesn't have 16 fingers or something. Yeah. You know, AI assistant adds a lot.
See, I get those too, Margaret. I get those ads and those emails and those messages all the time. And I'm like, I have no budget to pay you to write 100 fake reviews, and I don't want.
Yeah.
Like, there's a company right now, I'm sure you've seen the ads, Karen Leather Bags. They're claiming to be a decades old company with custom leather bags, and they're closing down, so they're selling off their stock. There was a guy who did a real or fake review of it, and Karen Bags has not existed for more than a few months. And all of their reviews are these, you can obviously tell they're all AI generated reviews from the same AI set. And they have all these 5-star reviews and then all these 2- and 1-star reviews. People saying the bags are fake, they're poorly made, they're fake leather. And so, yeah, that's, you know, what happens. And
yeah, every other ad is for AI. Tuning ads out that I rarely care what occupies his space. Yeah, I get that too.
I have my settings for food and drink ads because, you know me, I'm a foodie. I keep getting these damn pink salt diet ads. Here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something. If you're mixing pink salt, vinegar, baking soda, and turmeric and drinking it, this is not healthy for you. It is bad for your blood pressure. And yeah, you'll lose plenty of weight when you die.
Yeah, because that dehydrates you. That will dehydrate you and
fast. That'll dehydrate you super fast. And they're like, oh, it's this Ashwagandha cure, it's the Japanese cure, it's the Korean cure, it's the Chinese. And I'm like, ban false medical information report every single and I'm like, you don't be God, these people. I'm like, I just want to see foodie things. I don't want to see your bullshit diet thing. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
This is how I really feel about it.
Yes, that too. As soon
By the
as
way, if you eat too much, if you eat the level of pink salt that they're telling you to consume in a day, you might get lead poisoning or arsenic poisoning because not all pink salt is ethically mined for contaminants.
Yeah.
Just what? Okay.
Which list did I get on and how did I get off? How do I get off?
Yeah.
Laura. Hey, Laura. There's a bunch of authors recently that have accidentally left AI prompts in the text of their books. Yeah.
No. And that's another way to commit author suicide. Gosh. I did act when I the copy, I think it's in my bedroom, when I printed Pagosa Stars and in the whip for a draft, I did leave my daughter Mara's comments, like her little snarky comments, our little comments back and forth at the ends of the chapters. Because when we were first publishing it, she was editing it, and we would comment back and forth. And she hates Lloyd McConnell, so she was like, "Lloyd dies alone." Because she would go on these rants. And then when I did the editing copy, there were a couple places where I missed removing those end of chapter comments of her and I going back and forth.
Oh no!
Yeah, I would never hit the publish. Wow. I got an ad the other day for a middle grade fantasy book that looks legit, but the author's name has me questioning whether or not it's an AI written book. The thing is they are there are companies now that you put your concepting in. There's a thing, and they AI generate a.
Been a while. How you doing? Tell us how you really feel. Let's see. Oh, good day. Am I coming into the world? It's coming out on May 28th. Happy birthday. Early birthday. Yeah. I feel like that's where a lot of my ads came from too. That was not coming in mind. I get you. I get you. And Cat Paul's birthday is the day before, so on the 27th. Nice. Happy
Everybody
birthday.
has a May birthday. Happy May Day. Happy May baby days.
Right. All right. But yeah, the whole AI thing is just getting, it's everywhere now. Everywhere you go, no matter what. Instagram, Facebook, Kickstarter, buying things. Something's AI generated.
Yeah, no, it's just, it's, the thing is people are so bad about, and for a while, fact checking became like, oh, fact check, yeah. And it's like, in fact, please don't mock people who fact check. Fact checking is important.
And it's a lot of work. I mean, look at all the stuff that they have to go through and fact check those to make sure that they're not AI generated too. Yeah. I think it's not everywhere, but we follow where the target audience is geared toward. Yeah. We do. Yeah. So my dad, before he passed, he saw some of my videos and stuff. We had a tablet. He had a tablet that he played games and stuff. And he would get the AI generated ads and he would tell me, hey, look at this. This would be cool for Kona. It was one of those dog toys. And I'm like, yeah, it's not real. I'm sorry, Dad. Aw, you got a baby.
Yeah, she's my old lady, my grumpy old lady. Hubby is now up and moving around, so her bed heater has moved. So she has come to crawl into the hoodie. That's a girl. Yeah, it's a good girl.
That's awesome.
Good girl.
Yeah. All right. So go to activity.
That's Ladybird. This is Ladybug. She is my 16-year-old Chihuahua.
She old.
She is old, grumpy old lady.
All right, so go to activity or thing to refill the well. Margaret says hers is a walk.
Mine is my garden and my bees.
Yeah.
Or I spend time with the critters.
Yeah. Work a lot, hang out with family, go offline. Yeah, if you don't do all that, yeah.
Sometimes I make my husband take me for a drive in the mountains. I'm like, we need to go. We need to go up the elevation. Take me there.
Yeah. Kitty cuddle. Read, watch TV, walk when it's not winter. Really need to get back into coloring. Yes. But yeah, I do a walk, especially if I get to come out here because of the woods, and I grew up here, so I know every dip in the mountain kind of thing. So yeah, walking out here really clears my head. And playing with Kona, of course, reading, just taking a step back from the business side of things is enough sometimes. Let's see. Eva says, which well am I refilling? Creative. I stop creating and get it naturally replenished while I do other things. Maybe, yeah. Sometimes even cleaning the house is just enough. You're stepping away. You're clearing your head. Let's see. Let's see. True. Even different wells need different waters. Yep. Let's see. Rita says, living on our bar. Yes. Let's see. I saw some pictures of this. Started to paint my hallway and realized now less than halfway through still that my hallway is too long to paint. But yet here I am. Oh no.
You picked a pretty color.
Yes, you did.
That was a very pretty dark green.
You got this, I'm sure. All right. Reading for sure and walks in the spring and summer. Yeah.
I actually like when I got divorced from my first husband, the first thing I did was buy myself that deep sapphire blue, emerald green, and burgundy plaid that was so popular then.
Yep.
I bought myself furniture in that print because I loved that combination so much. And then I got this really beautiful like lamp that was like iridescent. It looked like carnival glass. It had that it was a burgundy lamp, but it had that carnival sheen on it and a burgundy lampshade to go on it, and green furniture. I got green end tables that matched. And I was like, I'm so stylish now. Yes.
Oh, goodness. Working on the planners and tidying sometimes is nice and refills. Eva doesn't want to use those colors. Eva also keeps losing video. I guess my web is weak today. Storm coming in. It could be mine too because mountains and rain. So I apologize if it is on this side. Cat Paw says, this year's spring depression has been the worst in decades. I don't want to do anything. All the sewing and crochet, etc., is just sitting there while I try to edit. Yeah. Sometimes when stuff like this happens, you have like seasonal depression. It's difficult to try to plan around that and, not continue the cycle of depression and the imp syndrome. So, yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Mahal will have light gold accents and then lights. Yes. Keep losing it, too. It's like a freeze, but not the buffering symbol.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll have to go back and rewatch.
Yeah. It's probably my net, if it's that. The theme is meant to be magical forest without any leaves. Yeah, blues and greens. Kingsman. That's something I need to go back and watch. Wood paneling on the bottom and the dark green upper portion. Yes. All that. I think if it's three of us, it's Sam. Yeah. It's definitely me then. All right. Well, if that's the case, do we want to go ahead and call it a day?
Yeah, we're taking it easy today. We didn't have any topics prepared. The only thing we were going to talk about beforehand was the really Chicago Sun Times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was it.
So
I'm going to be on the Read Now stream later. Right now, Read Now Book Club stream later with author Emma Bennett. We're going to interview her about her writing, and then we're going to have a discussion about Her Perfect Hero, which was the book of the month. Spartan Chimera I nominated it for a fantasy book because I thought it was a fun book. And they needed a few more fantasy books because, nobody was submitting this month for fantasy.
Okay.
So I'll be back, I think noon Eastern.
Okay.
For that stream. Please check out my latest videos. And Margaret says we're talking about mental health and climate awareness on my channel in an hour. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so there's been several streams on it.
Yeah. So there's the link to that. And that'll be awesome. All right. So we will be here next Sunday, June 1st, probably here, unless something happens and I have to be here again. But yeah, make sure to check out the links in the description box. I will be updating them as well. And yeah, we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.